Barely remember those first few months. I just went with the flow, much like how I did in high school. Sure, I made a few friends along the way, but nothing like what the end would turn out to be. I was still adapting to the environment, still taking rides from the fam, still making a few friends. Nothing really changed much. I was just going with the flow. Things continued to be the same, sangre verde flowing through the motions, but slowly building my own familia with what would eventually become La Mesa. Beautiful times were slowly taking shape. Library hangueos became mesa hangueos as the mesa slowly grew and took a bit of shape, but it was nothing like what next semester would bring. I continued going with motion of the college ocean as I just took classes and studied home. My main focus in La Uni was my friendship with La Mesa. I didn't really care much for anything else, except my girl and the arts. Even my family relationships suffered a bit, and they would continue to suffer as I would slowly continue to detach a bit, poco a poco. I started going crazy with los préstamos que hacía. I had too much money at once, and I just bought every book I wanted without any concern about the debt I was getting into, and the money I was spending. I was horrible at my money, and things got worse the next few years. But at least I kept my friends, girlfriend, and the arts close. I always took my studies seriously, but I would always just go with the flow. I just did the job and never did much else. But this semester was different. I finally started getting really concerned and focused on the classes that would give me the traditional job opportunities. Love and studies were the main concern for me then. Friends were always there. The stress was getting to me on those last few BA semesters, and they brought back an enemy who hadn't visited me in quite a while: epilepsy. Never thought depression would hit me, but this was the first time I would experience that feeling that would haunt me and hurt others around me for years to come. That first master's semester was one of the biggest challenges I've ever faced. Imagine being in college all day, from the early AM to the late PM, where Mondays were the worst of the worst because you had to experience a course that felt life-threatening. This would serve as the first of the easier semesters of the master's. It was a great one, full of courses that would teach me some of the best lessons that would allow me to be a successful educator. Regular courses would slowly end and life was getting easier, and I would finally publish the first of las FENdejaces. What a beautiful time it was. More books would come, my skills as an educator would be put to the test, I was enjoying my job, all forms of love were stable, life was great. Academics took a backseat to the art forms. Laziness would grow. Thesis was starting. Books continued to take form. Art v. colegio. There were times where the arts simply came first, the job second, and academics third. My priorities were not in place. I should have followed the advice I gave my students. Life after Maria would continue to be difficult as political corruption and forces of nature would continue to make life difficult. Love was affected, time with friends too, but at least the arts were there to help. In the midst of depression, lit always helped. Thank you, my dearest. The end was finally coming, but nature had other plans for mankind. It's all gonna end. A new stage will come soon, kid. Don't worry, you got this.